All right, so welcome to week number 4. Y'all just had a week off. Hope you enjoyed your 4th of July and have had time to recover and integrate during this hot summer. So today we're covering the water element, the kidneys. And I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Let's see, here we go. Good. Okay. So now that you're here, take a moment to center yourself. Align your spine, feel your feet on the earth, and start to slow your breath down. And we'll inhale together, gathering in fresh chi, and as you exhale, let out that sigh. Dropping into the heart. Inhaling, filling with light. Calming the nervous system, calming the mind. One more time. And rest here for a moment. We're going to go through a short version of the 1 through 10. 1 is fun. Imagine a smile melting down the front, the back, and the center of your body. Slowing your breath. 2 is shu. Feel your feet begin to melt like ice into water, and water melting into the soil. Feeling your connection to Mother Earth. Inhaling. 3 is tree. As you exhale, growing tree roots from your feet, deep down through the soil, through the rocks, through the crystals, through the bones of Mother Earth. Inhaling now. 4 is core. Feeling the Earth's core, the magnetic center. And as you inhale, gathering in the chi, this golden river of light flowing up the feet, the legs, filling the root, the belly, the entire lower dantian. You're going to feel it vibrate stronger and stronger in your core. Feeling the unconditional love of Mother Earth. Breathing in. 6 is thick. Now as you inhale, expand your energy field. Feel the floor, the walls, the ceiling being filled with light. And as you exhale, feel this cocoon of energy. Feel your aura becoming fortified, grounded by the earth. And then begin to see in your mind's eye, asking your intuition for a grounding symbol. What is your grounding symbol today? Make it more clear and vivid. And then see this grounding symbol fill your whole body and wrap around you, grounding you down into the earth. 7 is heaven. Now that we're connected to the earth, feel your consciousness extend to your crown and then extend up through the sky, connecting to the grand central sun, the universal light, the presence of God, the presence of the divine intelligence. You are a pillar of light. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. And feel the chi from the earth, feel the chi from the sky, flowing in, filling your whole body, filling your heart, your mind, your belly. 8 is gate, opening all the gates and the pores in our body, filling with infinite energy. And as we exhale, imagine our spine overflowing with white light. Feel your awareness drop back into the center of your brain, and then down through your spine. Back and down, back and down. Centering in your central channel. 9 is shine. As you inhale, absorbing infinite light from all directions, opening every pore, every gate. As we exhale, shine your light. Feel you are a star in the night sky. Being grounded to the earth, connected to your higher self, connected to all of life and creation. In the first invocation, as you inhale, imagine pulling down this pillar of light, cleansing our mind, our body, surrendering our ego, calling in our higher self. The second invocation, as you breathe in, pull down this pillar of light through our physical body, creating a sanctuary, a sacred space to practice, to heal, for our soul to grow. The last invocation, breathing in and connecting to the power, the presence of the universe inside of you, the source of life itself, overflowing our brain, our heart, our belly, our entire being, overflowing our 3 energy centers, our aura, and then smiling down with gratitude. Then open your eyes, still feeling that presence, that stillness inside of you. As we explore today what it means to be fearless and how we can work with fear and transform fear into willpower, courage, and ultimately wisdom. So thank you all for being here, taking the time on this Sunday. Use your whole being today, meaning when we're doing a practice or I'm sharing, don't listen just with your ears, listen with your whole body. Really become still inside as we go through these practices and teachings. True fearlessness is the ability developed over time and with practice to radiate positive energy regardless of circumstances. The happiness of the ordinary person is tied to the events of their day. The immortal generates their own happiness. So just breathe into that for a moment. Because the kidney chi is responsible for activating and sustaining our energy, our drive, our will, our perseverance. And if we allow our happiness to be controlled by the events of our day, then we begin to leak our power. We begin to give away our power to the external world. So in this moment, just feel if you're giving away your happiness, if you're giving away your power to any external event, person, place, situation, circumstance. Just feel into that. Then imagine like little beams or strings of light. Call your essence, your power back to you. And then see that essence filling up your belly, your lower back. Reclaiming your power. So now that you've reclaimed even a small amount of your essence back, we're going to review our objectives for today. The first is to open the kidney and bladder meridian. And we're going to review how to nourish the kidneys on a physical level, energetic, and spiritual level. And the real thing we're going to work with today is fear, and how it takes a certain amount of courage and will to face our fear, befriend our fears, and create a new relationship around it. Third, sealing our energy leaks. And we just did a very small practice with that right now in the beginning. And then four, the emotional transformation: fear, will, and wisdom. So I'm going to just review this quickly, and then we'll dive deeper in. So these fascial lines are where the chi networks run. So on the back line of our body, our kidneys, each organ has a paired organ. So the kidneys you see on the right-hand side, that light blue line. So the kidney channel runs up through the front part of the pelvis, up through the belly, and then right up to the bottom of the clavicle. And it also runs inside the groin and right toward the bottom of the foot, right, called the bubbling spring, right underneath the ball of the foot. So that's why when we do our practice, we often tap the balls of our feet before we begin, to open up that channel to receive energy from the earth, as well as let go of stagnant chi that we're holding on, stress, cortisol. And the other side, the back side, is the urinary bladder. So the kidneys control all of our fluids. So our cerebrospinal fluid, our saliva, our sexual essence. And as an example, if somebody's kidney chi is low, they will experience lack of motivation, lack of sex drive, maybe impotence, have low back pain, knee pain, these types of things, adrenal fatigue. So one of the simple ways is to open these channels, because we, as a culture, we sit down so often, the chi gets blocked and cut off right at our root, right at our hips. So I'm going to show you a couple of movements that are very simple that you can do each day to open these channels. Do some, simple breath work with it, and you'll feel a hell of a lot better. So I want to demystify the idea of chi and channels, and know that that runs through our physical tissues. The movement that you have started doing is called the black turtle snake, or blue turtle snake, dips into the sea. And the connection is to the ears. So when you have good, strong kidney chi, you have the ability to be present, focused, have your full attention. And it also means you have great ability to listen. As a culture, we tend not to listen. We're always looking for an opportunity to speak. And the wisdom is gained when we learn how to speak less and listen more. That also allows others to feel more comfortable and at ease, because rarely are we listened to with a full heart, with full presence. And it's connected to the bones and the bone marrow. So doing things that we're going to do today, where we're tapping, rubbing, and bouncing, helps to strengthen the bones. And we've talked about this before, but something called piezoelectricity. And so when the bones are stacked correctly, and we begin to bounce or move or hold certain postures, piezo, meaning under pressure, the bones give off chi, electricity. The healing sounds that we're going to use today is the you sound. And we can also do it, we're going to do it in the martial way. You. So just put a hand on your belly and just practice that with me for a moment, okay? We're going to do the soft way first. It's a descending tone. And just breathe in as you exhale. You. It's like a waterfall flowing down through your spine, through your bones, letting go. One more time. You. Now rest in stillness for a moment. Notice what you feel. Now we'll do the more guttural martial version, which is you. So it's a little more straight tone and faster. Okay, we'll do 3. Inhale, you. And you'll feel your belly activate as you do this. So hand on the belly. You. You. Good. So you can feel it's a very different energetic, right? And what I want you to become aware of is energy exchange is always happening. Always happening. And our management of our energy, our ability to contain our energy, and it is the key to cultivation. And so it doesn't mean, oh, I got to do Qigong all day. It means being aware of where we give our energy to, where we give our power away, and where we leak energy. And oftentimes we leak energy through too much talking or overcommitment, or we leak it through more physical ways, through too much coffee or masturbation, or not allowing ourselves to get enough sleep or rest. And how you know if you're starting to feel a little bit of deficient chi, or how you can start to kind of observe it throughout your day, right, is when you notice somebody speaking in a kind of a moaning, groaning kind of energy, like a complaining vibe, or you wake up and you're like, that's a sign that we need to boost your kidney chi. And there's some very simple and practical ways that we're going to talk about nourishing our kidneys, and we're going to have a fucking blast. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, okay? The emotional transformation is going from fear, right, which is the natural fight or flight, and there's kind of 4 primary ways we respond to fear, that stress response, that adrenaline rush, that cortisol release. Fight, flight, right? You run away. Freeze, we just become completely frozen like a deer in the headlights. Or flow. And that becomes a choice when we begin to practice and cultivate and see how fear shows up in our lives. So we learn how to not go into a negative association or pattern by default, but we have the awareness through our breath, through our mind, to clear that stress response. Okay, so get your journals out if you don't have them already, because there's some very awesome practical information here for you. So nourishing the kidneys and building qi. When we talk about the lower dantian in Qigong, we are not only talking about the energetics, right? We're also talking about physically nourishing the kidneys, especially because the kidneys are responsible for all of our precious fluids, our blood, our saliva, our tears, our mucous membranes, our sexual fluids, that being semen, menstrual blood. All of these things are nourished when we have full kidney qi. So how do we nourish our kidneys, right? Well, on a physical level, through food, the flavor, each organ has a flavor, and the flavor of kidneys is salt. So if you're noticing you're craving salt, it means you may be deficient in like the proper electrolytes to allow hydration and simulation, right? So one is miso, seaweed, getting like seaweed salad when you go out to sushi. And miso is also really great for digestion. Walnuts. Kidneys have a great correspondence with the brain and our short-term memory. So if you're noticing your brain's getting a little fuzzy, you're forgetting things a little bit, or you're just not as sharp or as focused, then start eating more walnuts. And what do walnuts look like? They look like a little mini brain, don't they? So in Chinese medicine, the food that heals that particular organ often has a similar shape, size, or color as that as the organ we want to treat. And so our kidneys are these very small, and you can see a little picture down there, and they're right in your low back. So bring your hands, let's put them on your low back right here. Just kind of squeeze in there a little bit as I'm speaking. And just kind of feel if it feels tender. If you ever had adrenal fatigue, you know that low back pain, it can get intense, and sometimes it can feel like stabbing or like heat, you know, and just completely drained. So these are some of the foods that can help nourish your kidneys. So black beans, those also look like little mini kidneys. Black sesame seeds, oysters and sardines and pumpkin seeds are some of the highest amounts of zinc in our body, and zinc is what produces semen for men. And so oysters are like an aphrodisiac, so it increases the our libido. So if you're noticing your chi is low, man, have some oysters, have a pack of sardines, you know. Pumpkin seeds are also great because you can put those on salads, really easy to use. So, you know, going on the practical level, Jing level, essence level, because if we don't nourish our physical level, if we don't get enough sleep, if we don't get enough hydration, and all this talk about energy cultivation and spiritual enlightenment doesn't actually happen, okay? So we're talking about very practical ways of cultivating energy here. Rest. I know as busy people, it's hard to get to bed sometimes. But if you can get to bed by 11 p.m., you will notice your energy levels in the morning will be much higher, because between the hours of 11 and 1, there are certain growth hormones that are released that help cellular repair and deep nourishment of our body. So if you can get to bed before 11 or right around that time, you'll start to notice, wow, I'm recalibrating. So if you're getting 8 hours of sleep, but you're getting it from 1 a.m. or something like that, you're still not going to be replenishing your kidneys. So it doesn't mean just getting 8 hours of sleep. It means having your biorhythms in tune with nature, in tune with the sun, as much as you can. And then hydration. You want to have at least half your body weight in ounces. So I always carry around this is about 40 ounces. And so if I drink 2.5 of these, I'm pretty good. So I like to have a big water device around. That way I'm not trying to fill up water, little glasses all day, and then you're just bound to become dehydrated that way. Now the next part is removing your mask. Okay, these are all ways that we deplete our energy. Now masturbation is probably one of the biggest ways, because that creates life. So when we're wanting to cultivate chi, the Taoists often say, retain your seed. Now, if you're having sexual intercourse and you're losing your seed, that's a little bit different, because there's an exchange of energy, and there's other chemicals, oxytocin, other things that are nourishing to our being. Masturbation is just a straight loss of chi. Okay, so as much as you can, limit masturbation. Okay, maybe once a week. All right, and you'll know after about 8 to 10 days, your testosterone levels will begin to increase and peak. And then I'm sure y'all have experienced this, where you feel an increase of libido, and you're like, damn, like, what do I do with this energy? Oh, my default is masturbation, or my default is whatever the case may be, right? Start to begin to harness that energy, and instead use that sexual energy to charge your body, to charge your willpower, to charge, that's the creative force. And you can now pour that energy into your work, your projects, into your relationship, and not pouring it into the bathroom. Now, the other one is alcohol. And I don't think I need to go over the details about alcohol. It dehydrates us. And once again, everything is in balance. So if you have a drink, occasionally, no big deal. If you're having sugar occasionally, no big deal. but we're wanting to look at some of our default patterns of when we're stressed, right? Because the stress response is the innate fear response. What do we turn to? Well, how do we alleviate the stress? And so we want to create new patterns of dealing with this stress. And so the other one is sugar. And we know that, too much sugar is harmful in many ways. And you often get an energy crash, after you have that scone or whatever it is. Probably the biggest one, though, is coffee, because it drains your adrenals and it begins to sap the essence that we're trying to actually ground and cover. It's like stealing from our savings account without putting anything back in there. So this week, your challenge is to choose at least one of these to cut out of your daily routine. Okay. And the last one is cannabis. And once again, all of these things it's all about balance and moderation, and we have to create new relationships. So cannabis, because the essence is, a fire element. What happens when we smoke cannabis is it brings the chi from our organs and it brings it up to our higher centers. And then what happens afterwards, you kind of have the crash and you're hungry, you're sleepy, because you just burned up some of your organ chi, right? So it's not necessarily that you're draining chi, but you're definitely not conserving and cultivating. So we want to find a balance with all of these things. None of these things are bad. We just want to see how we're utilizing these things. And if it's our default pattern, or if we can, I'm going to use this as a celebration or a reward. Okay. So the kidneys are not only responsible for all of the precious fluids in our body, but they're also responsible for the movement and heat. So that heat that we feel when we practice, some of you may be experiencing that now, that heat is chi. So we're actually cultivating chi, and that's the ability to move through life with our spiritual willpower, with perseverance, with a compassionate heart, realizing that each day we have a choice. We can succumb to our fear, or we can look at it with curiosity and say, where's that coming from? Is it an irrational fear? Is it something from the past that I haven't yet integrated? Is there a lesson there? Is there forgiveness that needs to happen? And if there's some of you who feel like there's some forgiveness work that you need to do, let me know. Because I would say in the process of healing, forgiveness, probably the number one thing. And oftentimes we have to forgive ourselves because we beat ourselves up. And we get upset with ourselves for not having the willpower to get through, the day, or the follow through on our practices or our work. And if we keep running into that resistance and seeing like, man, why can't I? Then there's something underneath that. There's some other core wounding and some piece of forgiveness that needs to happen. All right. So we went through some of the theory. Now we're going to really quickly review some of the Qigong, stretching, and tapping. So tapping, rubbing the kidneys, the Mingmen area. So if you put your hand on your navel center and then basically directly behind your navel center, that's your Mingmen. It's right here. And so even as you're sitting, you can do this. So one hand on that Mingmen area between the kidneys, it's called the life gate. And when this little point, this acupuncture point, is open and activated, it allows for greater flow of chi and nourishment through the spine and through the nerves that innervate the organs. So tuck your tailbone a little bit as you're sitting down. Okay, we're doing some sitting Qigong. And feel those little muscles in the lower back relax and open. So you're just tilting your tailbone back and forth. And as you tilt your tailbone back, you can feel those little muscles activate. So what I do when I'm feeling stressed, and as much as I can throughout the day, I'll just drop my tailbone. I'll send an anchor down my tailbone into the earth, and I'll start to breathe. And I'll breathe into my belly, and I'll start to imagine this like water energy, this brilliant blue energy coming in, feeling that point, feeling the lower back and kidneys, feeling the belly. And then as I exhale, I just let anything that's not serving me go down into the earth. So simply by slowing the breath down and tucking the tailbone, that's a physiological response that we now have control over. And then stress, fear doesn't overrun our mind and we start spinning in circles. Then the other area is tapping and rubbing the inguinal crease because we sit down all day. And so we literally become disconnected from our legs and our lower centers, our sexual centers. So when we do our practices, it's super, super key to begin to open the hip area. The next one is called up the ins, down the yangs. And that sound that we started today with, we're going to use the sound with the movement, which is hella fun. We're going to do 2 different stretches for the hip flexors, front side, and then the back side, hamstrings, erectors, and low back area. And the last one we're going to do comes from the muscle tendon changing classics for working with fear and then harnessing our willpower. All right. And then we're going to do a meditation a little bit later. So I am going to stop the share. Oopsie. There we go. And then find a spot where you can stand and have space, and we're going to get into some Qigong. We're doing it a little different today. We're going to use some different music. I'm calling it hip hop Qigong because lately I've been putting on a little bit of hip hop. I'm like, damn, I can open my body and have a completely different vibration activated. So, we're going to play. We're going to explore today. All right. So y'all can see me. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to bring the microphone over here. Turn on our hip hop music. That's how we're doing it today. Turning on the hip hop music. That's how we're doing it. Okay. All right. So remember our posture. Roll the shoulders down and back. Extend through the crown. Tuck the tailbone down. Now we'll make a fire. And as you make that fire, you hear the music just start to groove a little bit. Throw the breath down. Good. I think we need a little bit more light. There we go, that's better. All right, here we go. Rub the hands, make a fire. Make that fire. So you may hear the term in other Qigongs, Ming Men fire, life gate fire. So connect to that lower back area. Make that fire in your hands. Now we're gonna rub the kidneys and bounce. Rub the kidneys and bounce. Do this at least 50 times. We're stacking the bones, activating that electricity in the bones, dropping any stress, tension, or fear down into the earth. If you don't have the shoulder mobility, you can simply rub with the back of your hands, okay? All right, we're gonna do this another 20 or 30 times. Smiling down, feeling the groove in your body. Good. Inhale big. Exhale, relax it down. Good. So we do this roughly 50 times. Now tap. Tap the kidneys. Our adrenals sit right on top of the kidneys. So when we do this tapping and rubbing, we help clear the cortisol from the adrenals. We help calm and down-regulate our nervous system, baby. Ah, yeah. Good. Keep tapping. You can kind of tap up, down, and then rub again. Then relax, breathe, feel your chi. Notice, observe. And notice how the music affects your consciousness as well. Kidneys are all about listening. Now we're going to go to the front side, okay? So we're going to tap. If you want, you can do a little bounce with it too. And go opposite. Keep breathing in. Go down a little bit, up a little bit. You may notice a little warmth and heat beginning. You want to hit hard enough so you feel the abs activate a little bit. Now double again. Hit a little bit harder. And you'll feel your sphincter and your perineum engage. It's like we're packing in chi. Good work. Keep going. Keep breathing. Nourishing our lower dantian, opening up. Good. Now make a fire again. Good. Now we're going to rub down the inguinal crease. And remember, you bounce a little bit, so start a little fast. Yep, there you go. Good. And then smooth it out. Smooth it and then go down the inside leg channels. Up. Calling in. Calling back your essence. Freeing up the chi. Good. Then slow again. Or fast again, rather. And then start to really press into the inguinal crease. Right into the front of the pelvis. Great work. And relax the arms again. Breathe and feel. Smile down to your belly. Smile down to your kidneys. Notice how the music's making you feel. Good. And then we're just going to open the wrists up. And just follow me. So I'm going to shift left to right, open the wrists. So this little left to right movement, boom, shifting the weight, helps also open up the kidneys. Okay? So we're doing a little bit of twisting the spine as we shift. Good. Then ground, center, relax. Smiling down. Good. Now, we're going to move to the next movement. We're going to go up the ins and down the yangs. Let me adjust my camera so y'all can see me. So we'll do this. First, we're going to do it the slow way. Then we're going to do it a little bit more active. Okay? So we're going to inhale like this. The hands come up the inside of the legs, gathering energy like water, coming up, wrapping around, then down the kidneys, down the outside. Inhale, exhale. As we bend over, the kidneys get a massage. Inhale up, gathering energy, feel the warmth. Exhale, cleansing down the back. Good. Now, as you inhale, feel the belly. This time as you exhale, you're gonna let out that you sound, okay? You. Inhaling deep blue light up through the legs, the root, the belly, wrapping the kidneys. Exhale, you. Inhale, gathering willpower. Exhale, releasing, you. Last one, inhaling. Exhale, letting go. You. Cleansing the adrenals. Now we're going to do it. Let's scoot back. A little bit more active, okay? So we're going to inhale. We're going to activate our hands, our forearms, our legs. Gather up. And then as you exhale, we'll go, you. Okay? Inhale. You. 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 Gather. Release. You. Sealing our leaks. You. You. Two more. You. One more. You. Very good. Then come back to standing position. This time, hands connect. I'm going to adjust the screen here. Good. Now we're going to open the front side hip. Okay, we get lots of chi stuck in our inguinal crease, our lower chakras, and what's called our psoas, our deep abdominal muscles. Remember, the issues in the tissue, so we can open up the tissues. We help free up the energy. All right, Groovy Sunday, here we go. So you're gonna have one foot in front, one foot behind. Tuck the tailbone first. Get a little opening through the front of the hip. Then inhale, raise the arms up. Stretch through your rib cage, but drop your shoulders. Let me know if at any point you can't hear me, okay? Then you're gonna inhale down, and then exhale, reach gently back. Do this 5 times. Inhale down, exhale, reach gently back. So the goal is to start to feel this opening through the whole front leg, hip, ab, up through the rib cage. 2 more. Inhale down, exhale, reaching back. Last one. Opening up that front line channel, activating our creativity, our sexual energy, our sense of security and willpower. Then ground, go to the other side. First key. Tuck the tailbone. Then inhale, raise the arms up, reach through the rib cage to stretch the abdomen and the diaphragm. Inhale down, bend the back leg. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, sink. Exhale, reach back. Last 2. One more. Inhale, big. Fill your belly with chi. Exhale, stretch, open, melting to the fascia like honey. Warming the tissues. Then come back to the center. Very good. All right, now we're going to go to a forward fold. So from the side, tailbone will sink back. Push through the heels. We're opening up the bladder line, hamstrings, low back, spine, and then press down as far as you can. So if you're on your knees, fine. Ankles, if you can, press your hands on the floor. You want to press hard enough so the belly starts to activate. And you're going to tighten your quads a little bit, okay? But don't force anything here. Start off gentle. Now as you inhale, close your eyes. Imagine this brilliant blue light flowing up through the balls of the feet, coming up through the inside of the legs. Start to press the inside of the legs together as you press down. See that blue light fill your kidneys. And as you exhale, it flows down your spine, nourishing your brain, flowing down through your arms back into the earth. Inhale, gathering this blue light, these nourishing rivers of life flowing up the inside of the legs, filling the kidneys with blue light. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, gather. Exhale, let it go. Nourishing our brain, nourishing our cerebral spinal fluid. Feeling the warmth, the heat, the flow of chi increasing. Good. Now from here, you're going to just twist gently to your left. Okay? So wherever your hands can touch, that's going to support your spine. And notice that if you lean to the left, that right lower back and kidney gets a little more stretched. So we're squeezing and compressing the kidneys, opening it up. Inhaling, drawing in that blue light up the legs, calling back our essence, our grooviness. And exhale down, pressing down a little deeper. Good. Now go to the right side. And as we shift to the right, we'll feel a stretch in our left kidney. Remember to listen to your body, only going deep as feels comfortable on your spine. Inhaling, gathering energy. Filling with blue light. Filling the kidneys. Exhale, press down through Mother Earth. We're creating a circuit of light between us and the earth. One more breath. Now align the spine, engage your core, come up one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders back and down. Feel the shift in awareness. Now from here, slowly, we're going to make our way back to our seat. I want to go into meditation now. Now, if the chi channels are open, you can drop deeper into stillness. So feel your spine is tall. Feeling the channels are open in the front and the back. Crown is extended. And return to that natural breathing. Inhale, feeling the belly. Exhale, letting the perineum lift, the belly come back naturally. And feel your mind dropping back and down, down through your spine. And feel your spine being filled with light. And then bring your awareness now to your lower back and kidneys. Where the mind goes, the chi will follow. As you inhale, begin to breathe in this brilliant blue light, filling your kidneys. And imagine any times in your life where you felt you've given your power away. Forgive yourself. And each inhale, feel you're calling these pieces back. Forgiving yourself, forgiving the other, forgiving the situation. And as you inhale, begin to fill as much as you can. Slow, and just when you think you can't breathe in anymore, breathe in a little bit more. Feel your kidneys becoming replenished. Imagining your whole body becomes this brilliant blue light, like diamonds sparkling on the ocean. Now we're going to use the U sound. I'm going to do 5 repetitions here. When we're doing cleansing work with the kidneys, we use between 5 and 10 repetitions for creating health and balance. If you have major kidney issues, then come talk to me and we'll find a specific protocol for you, okay? So we inhale, fill the belly. And then we're going to use that U sound as we exhale. You. Now as you do it, put one hand on the belly and one on the lower back. See if you can feel the vibration. This is a great morning practice or evening practice to clear and cleanse. Inhaling. Calling our willpower, our spiritual willpower. Exhaling, letting go of fear. You. Down into the earth. Inhaling, feel your essence. Fully loving yourself. Exhale, you. Inhaling, exhaling, you. Dissolving fear, having the courage and the willpower to persevere. Inhaling, you. Dissolving, letting go. One more time with an inner smile, breathing that blue light in. You. Now breathe in silence. Inhaling, gathering this blue light through every cell, through every pore. Feeling the kidneys, wrapping them like a blanket. And this time as you exhale, see the blue light shine brighter and brighter in your kidneys. Inhaling, gathering. Reclaiming our essence, sealing any leaks of energy. As you exhale, feel that light shining brighter and brighter. As we do this practice breathing into the belly and the kidneys, if any images come in of people or situations that's draining your energy, just make a note of that and make a commitment to change, whatever way that looks like for you. Remember the power of no. It siphons off the energy that doesn't serve us, our growth, or our purpose, and tells the universe what we are in alignment with and what we allow and accept into our reality. As you do this practice, filling the belly, reclaiming our essence. As you exhale, seeing and feeling that no, that's our willpower. And slowly now, your hands over your belly, massage, ground in. Just being still now. Don't do anything. Just breathe and be. And slowly, when you're ready, write down in the chat box what you experienced in any part of this. What was something that really stuck out to you? Something that resonated with you? Or anything else that feels important to share at this moment? Put it right in the chat box. Are you guys able to hear me just fine? Also want to make sure y'all can hear me good. Okay, yeah, it did get a little soft. It was still on the floor when I started doing the meditation. So thanks, y'all. Excellent. So when we're practicing Qigong, we always want to be aware of the physiological responses. So warmth, tingling, sense of vibration, these things are all signs that pointing that we're on the right track. But what we're doing, the practices are actually working. Good, more connection of mind and Dantien, Michelle, Jordan feeling warmth. Roberto, beautiful share, brother. So now as we go from practice back into some more practical usage and how to cultivate willpower and work with our fear. One thing I want to mention, our willpower, you can also think of it kind of like a meter, So if you spend the first part of your day going through emails, checking Facebook, those are a lot of little decisions that you have to make that can begin to drain your willpower for the bigger things, okay? And they've done research on the dopamine rush that happens by clicking on, Facebook, going through the Facebook feed and getting lost in the internet and these types of things. So right away, cutting those things out, or at least down to a minimum of one time per day, preferably, either a short block of time, middle of the day or later, because you want to have the chi to do what you need to do for your work, for your project, for your purpose, and not get overly distracted by the external work, because everybody wants our time and attention. And it's our decision, our choice to give it or not. All right, going back to the screen share. Okay, so we covered all of that. The only one we didn't cover was the muscle tendon changing classic. So we'll do that. Let's see, we will do that after this one. So what does the watermelon look like when it's imbalanced? It's our ability to have focused attention. We are good listeners. We can calm our nervous system voluntarily. We have a healthy sex drive. And that sex drive is also our drive to create. to build and align with our heart. So in the Chinese medicine, we say, I'm connected to my heart's intention, but do I have the willpower and the perseverance and the actual energy to make it happen? So that's what the kidney chi is. And it's also directly connected to our ancestors, which I'm going to go into deeper, which is the essence from our DNA given to us from our parents. We also have willpower, perseverance, and the ability to say no. Water out of balance, poor short-term memory, or kind of fuzzy, foggy head, inability to sustain focus. You don't listen well, or you notice you're asking people, can you repeat that again? Low back pain, depression, knee pain, lacking impulse control. So you see something like, oh, I got to have it right now, right? That ability to be patient is also a quality of water. And then poor sexual boundaries. So I'm sure you have run into people that have kind of leaky sexual energy, meaning you can feel like there's something there that they're wanting, right? And so when we do these practices internally, we start to seal these leaks, and we start to retain our ability to have clear boundaries with ourselves and with others. So observing how fear operates in our daily life is key. So this is a very simple way to begin to look at our fears and create a new relationship with them. So we always, living life, we're going to be triggered. That's just what is, right? But when we know we've cultivated to a certain point, when those triggers no longer activate the same emotional response, okay? But the first part of that puzzle is the awareness. And when there's awareness come in, it's when we breathe and we slow down. Oh, I'm feeling fear. Oh, there's that trigger. There's that person again. There's that situation that I always get pissed off at. Okay, let me take a moment. I call it split-second awareness. I breathe. Okay, I'm feeling that. And then I just accept, okay, this is here. This is what's here. I don't start to create a story about it. Just, oh, this is here. Okay. And from there, I become curious. Just curious. And, kind of wondering, is this something that is an irrational fear? Is this an old fear? Oh, this is an old fear coming up to just be loved and forgiven and let go. Or, wow, this is a fear that's real, there's a car accident up front and I need to really be attuned, right? So just become curious as to the flavor of the fear, right? And at the core of fear is two things: fear of death and fear of the unknown. Fear of death and fear of the unknown, right? So we're going to do a practice to help befriend our fears and really activate our willpower in an even bigger and deeper way. So after the curiosity comes in, then we go to reassurance. And so in this moment, just feel into maybe something that happened this week, a stressful situation, something that occurred. And notice if you can start to feel that little flight or fight response. Just breathe with it. Become curious. And the reassurance part is twofold. One is, I have the power within me now. I've got this. I will not be run by my fear. I will see it clearly. That's the first part, is just reclaiming your ability to stand in the face of it without judgment, without becoming a victim to it, without going into a story about it. Just be. Now, the second part of this reassurance is knowing that you have overcome stress or fear in other times in your life, in other situations. So recall a time where you rose to the occasion. Recall a time in your memory where you were able to handle and persevere even though you didn't want to, even though there was fear present. Breathe in and reassure yourself that all the wisdom you need is right here. All the presence and the power you need is right here. And we begin to look internally for the answers instead of externally. So we're no longer leaking or giving away our energy or power. And this builds confidence naturally. And so now bring this sense of confidence that you can handle this. And then paint a picture in the future. And just begin to see this confidence, filling those parts of your day where you may find fear, stress, doubt, limitation. Breathe into those areas with confidence that you've got what it takes. And that it's okay not to know what to do, trusting that in the moment, you'll have the mindfulness and the awareness. Slow down and to recreate or rewrite a new pattern. So put in the chat box what you noticed. During this short little exercise. Okay, so moving right along. So we've gone through fear, we've touched into willpower, now cultivating wisdom. There's a Tibetan teacher that I love and I highly recommend. His name is Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. And he talks about fearlessness and wisdom. And what always just rung really true to my soul is when he speaks of our basic goodness. So right now, in this moment, because you were born, because you are a human, there's a basic goodness inside of you. And we're not talking about good or bad here. We're talking about a basic vibrancy, basic goodness, vitality. And so in this moment, breathe in and feel you're good. Claim you're good. Claim your worth. And begin to imagine that you are at the bottom of the ocean. You're at the depths of the ocean. And the waves of life, no matter how rough or choppy, underneath all that is your basic goodness. Now, where does fear creep in? What happens when it creeps in? We go into a negative story, we start to feel negative emotions, and then we disconnect our body and our mind. So the moment we connect to our breath, bring our awareness back and down, now we have our presence back and we can choose. And then that brings the term, and he called it the Great Eastern Sun. But for me, it's this rising energy. And if we look at nature, the sun doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't try to do anything. It simply shines its light, and then the shadows are cleared. Now, the neurotic part of ourselves is always looking at the sun as setting. Oh man, it's getting dark out. Oh no, I don't like the dark. Man, I don't want to go into those dark places, right? So when we attune to that great rising sun inside of us, it's a quality of consciousness that our awareness is enough. When we breathe down into our core, we can feel that brightness inside of ourselves. And it cuts right through the negative talk. And we're able to be with those negative emotions in a new way. We're just holding space for them. We don't have to change them. Just be with them, and they begin to change naturally on their own. So owning our basic goodness and having that sense of awareness that we can look at the sun setting or we can look at the sun rising. At any given moment in time, there's enough information that tells us, man, our life is amazing and beautiful and wonderful. And we can verify that. Right? That's why the power of gratitude is so important, appreciation is so important. Or at any given time, we can look at how shitty our life is. And there's plenty of information to verify that if we go down that rabbit hole. So you get to choose setting sun, rising sun. And one of the most important pieces I feel really called to is the inviting of our ancestors. The inviting of our ancestors for collective healing. And there's an African diviner that I work with. And I love the way he put it. He said, to communicate to the spiritual world, to the other side, we marry our physical action with an intention, and that's it. And what's happened in our Western culture is we've disconnected in many ways from our ancestors for whatever reason, you know, and we think, I've got to do it all on my own. I got to put it all on my shoulders. I can make it happen. I'm gonna crush it, right? And that's just part of living in the Western culture. But what happens is people start to forget about the grand scheme of life, and that the wounds and the traumas and the gifts and the skills were given to us, as a unique soul through our lineage. And so in order to come to full wholeness, we have to do that work. And maybe it might be hard. Man, you didn't have a good relationship with your mother and father, or you didn't know your grandparents very well. That's okay. Simply the intention that I'm here to heal. And my healing is going to send ripples of light, of love for all of my ancestors, for my mother and my father, for my grandmother, my grandfathers. I'm doing this to heal the trauma that they couldn't heal, so that I don't pass it on to my children, so that I don't pass it on to other people that I come into contact with. And know that when we connect to our ancestors, simply with the intention, we begin to feel a whole new level of support, a whole new level of nourishment. So it's not just our will, it's the divine will, right? The greater whole, the greater perspective and plan that we are a part of. So we're healing on behalf of not only ourselves, but all of humanity as well. So we're going through a major collective healing right now on the planet. And I'm so happy that you're here doing the work, taking the time. So now we have 10 minutes left. Just feeling into the moment. What's being called for each one of you, specifically in this soul group and collective. So let's be still for a moment together. Okay, it's clear. So we're going to go through a powerful practice. The element of the kidneys is associated with the winter time. So everything in Qigong is about looking at the seasons and how life works. What's the natural order of things? And what happens in the wintertime? In the wintertime, everything, all the energy comes back to its roots. The leaves fall, things die. So it's a time of death. It's a time of stillness. It's a time of reflection. And from death comes rebirth. So there's a little bit of fear in that, right? There's a fear sometimes of the winter, of the cold, fear of the darkness. And we can, when we can, befriend our fears, face the darkness with grace, with a sense of confidence, knowing that our higher self is with us, and our fears in this life are little signposts as well. Because our greatest fears on the other side are our biggest gifts. So as we heal these fears, our gifts can shine brighter. Our innate wisdom can come through. And so we're going to do a practice today around death, because that's the biggest fear, is death. And I'm going to share with you just a little more context. So this program is called the Immortal Form, right? So what is immortality in a nutshell? It's legacy. Immortality is to live your life doing good things and leaving a mark behind. So live your legacy of love, connect to your purpose every day, and ask for guidance, ask for help, ask for support, both from your higher self, from on high, right, from the spiritual realms, and also from people in your community, right? Ask for what you need, ask for it, and it will be given to you. And awaken your soul through your body. Awaken your soul through your body. So this practice that we're going to do is helping us attune to, what legacy do I want to leave? What's most important? What's the true north? Why am I here on the planet? What is my purpose? So I have the willpower, I have the energy to fulfill my heart's intentions. So the ancient mystics and enlightened ones, they use the contemplation of death and immortality. And it cultivates an ability to be fully present to how precious life is. It helps calm the fears of the ego. It helps build true compassion and lights a spiritual fire under our ass. Okay? Just breathe into that. How to fully live. We contemplate death knowing that we're all going to pass. It is inevitable. And the only thing we take with us is the quality of our consciousness, the quality of our soul growth. That's it. And the lives we touch. So, making friends with fear, the deathbed test. And once again, the purpose is to cut straight to the heart of your soul desire while living on earth, and establish that true north of your purpose and mission even deeper. So sitting down, finding yourself relaxed and at ease. Close your eyes. Start to breathe in slow and deep. I'm going to read something to you as we begin. And say it in your mind's eye with me, in your heart with me. I am immortal, sent to a mortal school to learn and regain my immortality. Though challenged by all the purifying fires of the earth, I am the soul and cannot be destroyed. Fire cannot burn me. Water cannot wet me. Breezes cannot wither me. Atoms cannot shatter me. I am the immortal, dreaming the lessons of mortality, not to be crushed, but to be of service to those who have forgot. So breathing in to your soul in this moment, knowing that you are immortal. And then feeling the preciousness of this life right now. And now imagine yourself on your deathbed with just hours to live. Take the time to really imagine it. Make it as real as possible. Imagine the feel of the bed, the smells in the room, the sound of your family sniffing, swallowing, crying, and surrounding you. Imagine the feel of one of your loved ones touching your hand, holding you, comforting you. Imagine and feel the weakness and the frailty of old age consuming your body, consuming your strength. Each breath is like a mountain to climb. Really go to this place. Imagine the smells, the sounds, the taste in your mouth. Your breath in, your organs dying. Can you imagine it? Do you feel the emotion, the memories, the regrets? Now, before the poignancy fades, ask yourself, what of the things you have not done yet in this life fills you with the most pain, regret, and anguish? What is the thing you thought you would have time to do someday, but have not done? Which of those unchecked items on your life's to-do list absolutely guts you to the core? As you breathe into this, really feel the energy, feel the emotion. Now, which one of these things, if done in this life, would allow you to feel fulfilled, happy, and content? Now, from this state of awareness, stay with the feeling and write down your top 3 to 5 things. What is your soul here to do? And once you're done writing them down, breathe and envision you fulfilling this promise to yourself when you chose to come to Earth. See the visions, dreams, and gifts you're here to give fully. See them fully realized. See and feel the resources, the people, the teachers, the finances, coming in, allowing you to share your deepest gifts with the world in service. Now feel with gratitude for life itself, feeling it's already done. You have succeeded. You have shared your gifts. Fill every cell with gratitude, filling you with the willpower and the wisdom to carry through your mission, unifying your heart's intention and the perseverance inside your belly, that fire in your belly to live a life of purpose and meaning. Now write down one commitment to yourself, one action step you can take to move this goal forward. Write it down, commit to it, make it happen. Use your will, your spiritual will. And now we're going to close out by activating this will and wisdom through our physical body. So when that energy of laziness or fear or doubt or whatever negative emotions come, we have the capacity through our mind and our body to harness our will. And when I say our will, I'm meaning that deep spiritual will, the will of the divine that wants to move through us, not from our ego will, but from that higher place, from our soul. So I'm going to scoot this back. I want to close with this practice here together. So this is a way to work with fear and aggression and call in that essential energy of willpower, love, wisdom, and strength. So stand with your feet about hip width apart. I'm going to do two different directions, okay? I'm going to inhale up. I'll show you first. Then you're going to exhale, engage every muscle fiber as you extend up to the sky, okay? That's the first one. Then the second one, we're going to go down and back. So ground into your feet. Call in your soul essence. Breathe in, and we're going to fill every cell, every muscle fiber with light. As you inhale now, gather the chi. Close your fist. And then exhale, extending up, firing your feet, your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your abs, your core, your shoulders. Bring your back muscles down. Activating your triceps, your biceps. Squeeze harder, tighter. Call in that divine strength, love, courage, and willpower to fulfill your mission on this earth. Inhale, gathering in light through every cell. Exhale, let out a little sound. One more breath. Brighter and tighter. And inhale, pull down to the heart. Exhale, ground into your belly. Now inviting in our ancestors, feeling the support and nourishment and healing forward and backward in time. Exhale now, press down through your back muscles, your triceps, your arms, your forearms, your lats, your abs, your quads, your butt, your calves, your feet. Extend through your crown. Be like a pillar of light. Inhale, gather energy. Call back your essence here and now. And as you exhale, vibrate that light through every cell, every tissue, down to your bones. Grounding into your full presence, your true nature. Inhaling, exhaling, filling with light, transmuting fear into courage and willpower. Knowing when fear shows up, we just have to take that extra step. Simply need to call in and ground our essence. One more big breath. Exhale, brighter and tighter, brighter and tighter, brighter and tighter. And slowly soften your body and muscles. Feel the rush of chi. As you breathe in, raise the arms up to the heart, gathering in unconditional love, strength, support. And exhale, bring the palm down to the belly again. And rest here for a moment. Palm facing palm, holding pose. Dropping into stillness. Remembering your essence. Smiling down to your belly. Bring your hands over your abdomen, turning into gratitude, appreciation, feeling the warmth, the vibration, massage, grounding in, then go the other way. Release your hand when you're ready. Open your wrists, your fingertips. Great work, everyone. So great to be with y'all. So this week, as a recap, choose one thing to cut out, okay? So masturbation, alcohol, sugar, caffeine, or cannabis, okay? You can do all of them if you want, okay? And if you have any questions, please let me know. And our focus is the kidney exercise this week, all right? And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm just going to open it up to, I would love to hear any feedback or insights from today.